Greetings, everyone. I wanted to conduct a separate submission packaging recording, so that way it was a little bit easier to understand. Excuse me. And so I'm going to go through the steps right now, and you can watch this separately from the long version earlier today. So then that way this can be really easy for you. So I'm going to walk through several parts of this, and so I want to make sure that I hit every area. Again, if you have any questions about this, please email us at homearp@dca.ga.gov or ask us questions via our online form sheet through our website. Okay, so let's get started. So this is just the overall view of it. I'm going to show you how to do each section with regards to separating out the files and then zipping them. Okay, so let's start with that right now. So here is your package. Okay, I'm going to actually walk through what you should have in each folder. So the first is the data and SWOT. Okay. So I'm going to click on that, and you have your data and SWOT Excel spreadsheet. Now it should be completed as best as possible. I wanted to complete some parts of it so you knew and I had an idea of what it should look like. And actually here it should be Agency Awesome. So we have Agency Awesome here who is submitting their forms. And so they're stating that they're including the Excel spreadsheet, the IRS proof of nonprofit forms, the proof of qualifying populations and their data. They don't have any partnership or operating agreements, but they do have their GIC community documentation. So when you look at this, I'm going to move this just right over here, and you double click, you can see here's their 501c3 that they included, like it mentions here, and maybe I should do it like that. Let's do that again. There we go. So Agency Awesome here. I can move this over. There we go. You can see that they are going through all the steps of including these pieces here. So they have their 501c3, like it states here, their IRS proof of nonprofit, proof of showing that all qualifying populations are eligible. That's their data for Cool County. And then here's their GIC information. Okay, and then they have their Excel spreadsheet here. Then moving back to their operation budget section, okay. They're including, I'm going to show this to you. So, oh, one more thing. Let me show this to you as well. Agency Awesome. When you look at their scoring sheet, and I'm doing this just as a basic example, I realize that this may be a little bit more confusing than we intended it to be. So please request some grace in this area. So we have the blue section that says we've completed these forms, and then answer these to the best of your ability from what you know. This particular agency has worked with operating shelters for qualified populations. They've received 5 or more years of shelter operations that they've been doing. They work with HMIS standards. They do have a housing first approach. They're not new to coordinated entry, so that's an NA for this one. Whereas an agency that may not currently be working with HMIS would get an NA here, okay? And then they supported their tenant preferences noted in the project overview worksheet. So that would be the data that they included that supported it. And then looking here for the bonus information for federal grants, this probably should have been in a different section, but you can refer to those other sections in this section, okay? So it's okay if there's crossover. And if you want to note that here, that's fine. I'm going to show you how to make those annotations in just a minute, but I included like where it says bonus for 3 years under the civil rights non-discrimination section. That's going to be under the development overview. Okay, so some of these answers or the maybe weeby piece, again, that's under the development overview section. So this should have been included there, but you can go ahead and leave it here. That's fine. Okay. Location factors. So look at those with regards to projects located within the balance of state versus the PJ. So the PJ got 1 point, balance of state got 2. So I gave this score number 1. Okay, so it would be in a PJ. And then, which is the participating jurisdiction. And that's the list that we had earlier of like Albany, Atlanta, Athens. So all of those participating jurisdictions, even Clayton County, I think Gwinnett's in there too. So if you need to know if you're in a participating jurisdiction, let us know. Now that's if the development is in that PJ. If you are if your main part of your agency is in a participating jurisdiction, but that non-congregate shelter is going to be outside of that participating jurisdiction in a different county even, you can claim 2 and not 1. Okay, so it's the location of the project. That's where you look as far as participating jurisdiction or not. Okay. And then the leveraging. So if you were able to help fund greater than 25% of your project with other funding other than HOME-ARP, then you can go ahead and put 2. So this agency that I'm just made up, Agency Awesome, got 20 points. Okay, so make sure you just go through each of these sections and complete them to the best of your ability. Okay, so I'm going to go back over to the operating budget piece, and I wanted to show you an example here that I think would be relevant as well. So let's look at operations budget. So as you can see, I have 2 sections highlighted in yellow here. And so if you look at the audits, I went ahead and put in the 3 years of audits for Agency Awesome. And please note also how I'm labeling these. So all of them are Agency Awesome and then what it is. Okay. And so for the budget documentation, I included the funding commitment letters, which are right here, the section right here. Okay. And then the recent financial statements, which are located actually, it says here, it's in the financial audits. So that would be one way to let us know. And if there's no litigation for bankruptcies. Okay, so let's look at an example for the list of litigations. Okay, so if you don't have litigations, and it says that here, no litigation, go ahead and put in just a regular document that says no litigation or bankruptcies in the past 7 years, or a list of pending litigation or judgment. So, or okay, there we go. And so take a look at this and use this. And actually, the reason that the dots are there is because I used the little paragraph guy. So you would just go ahead and let us know that you don't have any litigation. And that way you have a document that we can see is in the file, but it just explains why there won't be any information there. Okay, so we know that you are being aware of that. You're not just leaving it out for no reason. Okay. And again, I highlighted it here, like I had said before, if you have any changes to make, so if anything's different that you need to add, adding is fine, just don't take anything away and let us know if something's different. So that's why I highlighted it in yellow to just give us an indication that these had been changed. Okay, as you noted, I didn't change either of these. Oops, cancel. I just added over here. Okay, so you don't have to do it necessarily just like this, but something similar would be great. Essentially, we need to know what you are doing and your plans. So kind of giving us an indication of how you changed or updated something. Okay, so from there, I uploaded to I uploaded here all of the different letters. And again, I went through all the checklists to make sure, you know, that Agency Awesome had all of their right documentation in here. The administration resumes of people who are administering the program, identity of interest letters, zoning information. So this is where you would just upload all of that supporting documentation, okay? So Agency Awesome utility access documentation, budget documentation, letters of commitment. So this is where you would put them all, okay? So after you do this, okay, what you're going to want to do is we're going to want to copy the 4 sections that are relevant to this phase submission. So we're going to want data SWOT, operation budget, NCS development overview, and NCS development budget. Okay, so you need to highlight it. Some ways to do that is if you click on it, so it turns blue, then you press the control button and keep it down, keep the control button down, and then you can click these other files, and that way they're all highlighted. Okay, another way to do that, and it's if your mouse works well. So if you take your mouse and you hold the left click button down, you have this line that you can draw. You keep holding that left click button down. And so you go ahead and highlight those 4 sections. You right click, you copy, okay, and then we're going to paste them. So we're going to go to this example. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder. Okay, we're just going to leave that name there for a second. I'm going to double click on the new folder. I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste. Okay, so all of those came from one to the other. Again, I copied them. I did not cut them or I did not move them. Okay, so let me show you. There is the same information of the data and SWOT. Here, let me do this. You can see your 3 files that were here under the operation budget. You can see the audit for 3 years and then the budget documentation, including that list of litigations. There's no litigation or bankruptcies. So that's here. And then, so all of that is located in this section, okay? So then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to label it. And I want to make sure that I label it correct. Okay, so we're going to label it HOME-ARP NCS 2023 Phase 1 submission and then agency name, okay? So let's set this back up. Okay, so under new folder, oops, I'm gonna do a name change. So you can either do it that way, click once, and it'll give you an indication that you can change the name, or I think we should be able to press rename. There we go, and that'll work too. So we are going to do HOME-ARP NCS 2023 Phase 1 submission. And then agency awesome. Okay, so that's what you want it to look like. Okay, so we just took it out of here. So look and see the data and SWOT, all of that information is still there. We just copied it. Okay, And then we went ahead and lifted these 4 sections. Oops. And we are putting them here in the Agency Awesome section. Okay, and that's your submission. And again, it looks like HOME-ARP NCS 2023 Phase 1 submission agency. Okay. Okay, so next thing, we're going to want to zip this. So looking at your submission packet, okay, you're going to want to highlight it so it's blue. You're going to go to share, and here up in at the top part of share is the zip. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and click that, and boom, it's zipped. Okay, so as you can see, this one has a little, very small, little gray zipper, and this one does not. Okay, so what you're going to do next is you are going to take your email and you are going to, you can copy it and paste it there. So usually just right click and paste. Or you can press Control V. So here we have the submission, Agency Awesome. It's all zipped up, okay? And you would go ahead and send it to NCS 2023. And as you can see, it's 2023 at dca.ga.gov right here. Okay. Oops, let's do that again. Okay. And then I highly recommend you CC yourself. So I'm sending it back to me at HOME-ARP, or we could state my name. We can also state Kelly. We're sending it to everyone. And then what you're going to want to put here, I'm going to show you this on this screen, is you're going to want to put that HOME-ARP NCS 2023 Phase 1 submission and then your agency name. So the exact same thing. Okay. So HOME-ARP NCS 2023 Phase 1 submission agency awesome. Okay. So you have that, and then you're going to want to send this. You're going to want to send it by 11:59 p.m. on Tuesday, August 15th. We can receive those submissions anytime before then. So if you do not want to wait till August 15th, you do not have to. Okay. Also, because you're not submitting to a large, like an emphasis or the GRAM program or HUD, I forget what the HUD one is called, an actual system, there's not going to be, hopefully, a whole lot of people. I mean, I think you all should be able to submit it to us and not have any issues with getting it to us, okay? And then we're going to have a response letting you know that we received it, okay? So again, do what you can. You may have some questions, just make them work as you go along. If it's too late for us to answer it, okay? Again, we really just want to know your story. We tried to create a structure for that. And so, yes, there are a little bit of snafus in there. So please forgive us for that. It'll be better next time, I guarantee it. And so, but ultimately, we just want to see what you're doing and then go ahead and score yourself as best as possible. Okay, so that is all the information for the submission. Again, Tuesday the 15th, so in 5 days by 11:59 p.m. we need to have that time date stamped. So when it's sent, we need to see that it's before midnight. Okay. And then again, the other thing is you are going to want to submit your $200 for your application fee. It needs to be time date stamped by Tuesday as well. And that is located, here, let me go ahead and show you that. if you go into your packet under the NOFA and your non-congregate shelter non-congregate shelter manual. Here we go. I'm going to look it up for us. Give me a second. Okay. So in the manual, on page 4, we have the application fee here. We've also mentioned it in the responses to questions. So, oh, that's the wrong day. It's not a Friday, it's a Tuesday. Okay, so it's Tuesday, August 15th, 2023 at 11:59 p.m. It just needs to be postmarked by that time. Okay. And you sent it to the Office of Community Housing Development to Lisa Ivy. Please go ahead and also put that it's for your non-congregate shelter application fee. So you're going to want it to say, okay. So for example, when you're, and I think I mentioned this during the last presentation, but so if you're sending it to Lisa, you're going to want to see a Lisa Ivy, and she's who's receiving it in the office, because most of us aren't there right now. We're all remote now. So, and you're going to want to say NCS application. Okay, so when you're addressing that envelope on Tuesday, August 15th, yes, make sure you go ahead and put that it's for the NCS application fee. Okay, so I have been rambling on enough for 22 minutes. I apologize that it took so long, but I really do hope this helped. And so please feel free to fast forward and reverse as much as possible as you need. And if you have any other questions, again, HOME-ARP at dca.ga.gov. or going on to our form, our online form questionnaire on our website at dca.ga.gov, the HOME-ARP website. And you can go ahead and click the link for the online question form on our application page, okay? So that's it. Best of luck, everyone. I will be following up with several constant contacts, and again, we will do our best to answer your questions in as timely a manner over the course of the weekend. If you happen to have any, there's only so much we can do with regards to the time. And really, we just want to hear your story. So just make it shine as best as you can in the application materials we have supplied for you. So thanks again. We'll talk soon and see you soon, and we're looking to see all your submissions on Tuesday, or by Tuesday, I should say. Thanks so much. Bye.